All right, y'all, back to work. Boy, a messy day comes to an end. That's all good, though, because right now we have a slingshot reversal setting up on the S&P and the Nasdaq. These are some of my all-time favorite chart patterns. The challenge is these types of reversals can be very explosive. So I want to talk about some different entry tactics I'm watching here tonight and tomorrow. I want to make sure you have a game plan to make some money on this as well. So charts are ready. Enough of the intro. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and watching our videos here tonight. Let's go dive in and make some money on Wednesday morning. S&P SPY ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are all ready to go. I have three important clues on these charts that are telling us where the winning trades are waiting for tomorrow. One of those three clues is right here on the hourly time frame. I do like to use the hourly chart as an overall directional filter. And one very big clue right now, it is easy to see the buyers have control of the overall momentum. That's a big clue. Two more important clues are over on the tick charts right now. There's no major news for tomorrow, so we'll dive right into it right now on those tick charts. Remember, guys, tick charts make entry timing a lot easier. Entry patterns are easier to find on tick charts. All the time frames, by the way, upper left-hand corner, in case you're watching for the first time right now. And that, my friends, is the 21 EMA. It's the only indicator we need to make lots of money each week. There's two important clues here. One clue is that range right there. Now, this is where a slingshot reversal comes together. We're bullish overall with a bearish range. Now, what do ranges love to do? They love to rotate. And remember, we're bullish overall on the hourly. As price tries to rotate back higher, this is where that slingshot comes from. And this can be a very explosive snap running higher. But that's not my favorite clue on the chart right now. My favorite clue is that strong move going lower. Now, why would that strong move lower? Why is it my favorite clue? Because you know, anytime we see a strong move in one direction, we know the odds are pretty good. They're going to pull back and retest that low. If I had it my way for tomorrow, one of my favorite trades for tomorrow is to buy what I call a retest trade, a double bottom retest, maybe some bear traps down here, and then slingshot that sucker back up into that trading range. Now, we may not get that. We may not make our way all the way down into that money zone I've got listed back there. If we do go higher, there are three different ways in which we can make some profit on the back end of a slingshot reversal. I want to talk about that a bit later on in tonight's video. But first, though, let's talk about how we time the entry on that retest with that slingshot reversal. The key here is bear traps, right? As we make our way back down to retest that low, anywhere underneath this low right now, this is the worst possible place to start selling because you're an overall bull market. That range above us, remember, ranges act like magnets, like I teach in our free video courses, right? So that range above us is a magnet. If we make a run going lower, this will be a horrible spot to be selling and a great place for a bear trap. Now, when I say bear traps, what I'll do is I'm going to wait for a pullback, the 21 EMA. Let those bears try once. Let them try twice. Remember, always a higher high, always a higher high. Sellers want to sell high. I want to rope in those bears. That way I can use their stops to fuel that slingshot going higher. That's what creates that slingshot move. All the bears get trapped. We slingshot back up off that low. And because we're overall bullish, that overall bullish trend carries the price going higher. Now, where does the market want to go right now? It wants to rotate back roughly the amount below and the amount above. So after we get that bear trap entry, remember to look for separation off the moving average and add to your winners. Like we talked about last night on the video last night, if I start seeing some shallow pullbacks that barely miss that 21 EMA, higher high in price, shallow pullback, we add to our winners. In our trade room, we call this a bear trap and an add-on. Guys, the easiest way to make a lot more money is to add to your winners during those range rotations. And again, in a moment here, we'll talk about if we go higher. I got three easy ways to make money as we go higher. But first, though, here's a question for you. What if we don't get that bear trap down there? There's a very good chance here tomorrow that we run lower. There's so many buyers down here because we're so bullish overall on the hourly. I may not get the chance to trap those bears in and squeeze those stops higher. This thing might just V-bottom and just whoop and run right back up again. These are not my favorite, but I don't control the markets. Let's put a game plan together if we get something like that. If it V-bottoms off that low, not ideal, but we got to make lemonade with the lemons we get. When it V-bottoms off the low, what almost always happens is we can find a new channel. Here's how you do it. Market trend line. Off the highs, bring it down off that low. Now, here's where the magic happens. Look left. Find one of those prior swing lows that lines up right around the low of that channel. In the trade room, we call this first test is the best test. And what almost always happens is we get below that 21 EMA. We get bears getting trapped in below that 21 EMA. We squeeze their stops. We get separation now off of that moving average, that same bear trap into add-on. And again, we know where this thing wants to go, right? It wants to rotate. It wants to slingshot and resume that overall bullish trend on the hourly. So not ideal, but hey, a good backup plan for me tomorrow is to buy that first test bear trap off that low and add to our winners with that separation off the moving average. Another variation of this, every once in a while, we'll get another strong run down. We'll get a bear trap down here. Trap those bears in. Nice, easy winner running higher. But every once in a while, there'll be like a bear channel coming down or something like that, right? It'll make another leg going lower. Remember, retest trades. We're not a bear market. We're an overall bull market right now on the hourly time frame. So we know right now we run lower, buy the retest, right? If it makes a strong run lower, buy the retest, right? Buy the retest. So again, in these situations, we oftentimes will get that bear trap. We'll get a winning trade out of this. In the free video classes, you'll learn about trade management, right? Stop below the low, 1-to-1 first target, stop moves up to point of entry. You'll learn that technique in our free video classes, right? So, okay, so it's a winning trade, but instead of continuing with that slingshot, it'll make another leg going lower. Remember, these retest trades are oftentimes our biggest winning trades each week because anybody who sells on that pullback, where's their profit targets? Their targets are back at that low. Why is it important? Well, because anybody who sells up here, they become buyers, right? Yeah, they become buyers down there. This is a horrible spot to be a seller, and therefore, it's a beautiful spot for a bear trap. Do it again. I always think of this as a gift from the trading gods, right? So bears once, higher high, bears twice, squeeze those stops. There's your bear trap. And again, if you learn one thing from this video tonight, in a range environment, you better add to your winners and you better get used to letting those winners run. Separation, shallow pullback, and we're in right below that low. Man, I love the idea of a retest trade off that if it does roll over and go one more leg lower. Now, let's now talk about if we go higher here, because that could easily happen right now as the thing slingshots off that low. Before I dive into that though, let's slow down for a couple seconds because I know most folks watching right now, you guys know these patterns already. You're making money with these already. But if you're watching for the first time right now, this could be a brand new language, a brand new strategy I'm talking about right now. Don't you worry though, I teach this entire roadmap, the entire system in my free trading course. In fact, I have a ton of examples of bear traps, add-ons, lots of retest trades. Guys, these markets are way too good right now not to be making consistent profits. So I want to help you guys make more money with this stuff. I'll put a link up top here for you, upper right-hand corner. Hit that link that popped up there and take that free trading course because the strategy I teach in that short video series will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room each morning that literally tells me exactly where the winning trades are going to be each day. More importantly though, I want to teach you all my 4 favorite entry setups so you can time better entries, make a lot more repeatable, consistent profits. Guys, if you're missing the best entries right now, if you've lost your confidence in your current strategy, Don't delay on this. Pause the video, hit that link that popped up there, watch that free trading course. You're going to love all the trade examples I include in that short video series. The best part is it is completely 100% free for you. Also, too, keep in mind, too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links you need to learn the entire roadmap. Come join us in our daily trade room. Follow along on Twitter or X. I'll put all the important links you'll need for you to learn more. The description of the video. Start first, definitely, with a free video course. Most folks start making money all on their own, all from that free video class. And keep in mind, too, I post a ton of charts and videos on X or Twitter throughout the day. If you're on Twitter, X, give me a follow. Again, all the details you'll need to learn the system, time better entries, get your confidence back, make repeatable, consistent profits each week. Again, you'll want to hit that link in the description there. Grab the free course there and follow along each day on Twitter or the X platform. Okay, now that you know more about where to learn more and follow along more with us outside of YouTube hours here, let's now talk about here if we go higher here. Before I do that, though, I almost forgot. There's one scenario I don't want to forget about. What if we go sideways here right now overnight? What if we go sideways overnight? You know, everyone's waiting on a trade deal right now. Got a holiday weekend coming up this weekend. There's no major news. We may just simply go sideways like this, right? We may go sideways again as everyone's waiting for more headlines. If we go sideways overnight and we don't get that run going higher or that slingshot off of that low, remember that ranges love to rotate. So now we get a bullish range. In this example, what I'm going to do is go find levels of support, below that range, wait for price to break below that range, and look to trap those bears in off the 21 EMA. Bears once, bears twice, and then remember, what do ranges do? They love to rotate. So as it rotates higher now, we take profit targets off at that pendulum swing overhead, and we'll talk about a couple more trades. Again, there are 3 trades I'm going to look for as we go higher. We'll talk about that more in detail here on the Nasdaq in just a moment. So just be aware of that. If we do go sideways overnight, I will keep looking for ways to buy bear traps below that low, or in all reality, buy breakout pullbacks above the high, which we'll talk about more here as we go. So keep that variation. You know, I have no crystal ball. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. My goal in these videos is to get us mentally prepared for different scenarios. That way you have a game plan and confidence to make money with those tomorrow morning. Okay, enough of the S&P right now. Let's go to the Nasdaq here right now. Nasdaq's getting lonely over here right now. And you can easily see right now the Nasdaq is bullish overall. I want to jump into the tick charts and talk about 3 trades I'm watching for us going higher. Before we do that, though, if you're enjoying this video tonight, please help me grow this channel by hitting that like button and make sure you subscribe. I know we're all busy people these days. I appreciate you guys tuning in, supporting my videos tonight. So thank you so much for the likes, the shares, the subs, all the ongoing support down in the comments section. Now, I promise I'm done. I'm done begging for likes here. Let's keep going here now and grab some tick charts. Again, tick charts are so much easier to time entries. Compare a tick chart to a time chart, and you'll see right away tick charts are by far the best. These are from ninjatrader.com. We know we're bullish overall right now on the hourly. There's that range right there. And again, if you're a student with us in the trade room each morning, you know how much I love these scenarios. That combination, right? That combination of a bullish overall trend and a bearish short-term range, it creates this combination where if we roll lower, get bear traps, it slingshots off that low and just snaps right back up, squeezes and runs right back up again. Screenshot that, put that in your journal. Again, these are very, very explosive reversal patterns because everybody gets squeezed. All the bears get squeezed. Look at the size of that candle wick at that low here. What does that tell you? Yeah, getting ready for liftoff, going higher here. So again, we talked about going lower. We talked about bear traps down. I love the idea of that retest trade. All the same variations of this stuff we talked about earlier on the S&P can be applied now to the Nasdaq. What if we go higher here, right? How do we trade that now as we go higher? Well, first of all, Last night on the video, we talked about 3 ways to use the moving average, and one of them was separation. So we know that if this rotates off this low, it's going to potentially have a lot of momentum behind it, a lot of power behind it. And we're going to see that in the moving average. The trick will be is that as we go higher here, think about that separation off that moving average. And the most aggressive way to trade this is going to be jumping in right below that low. Now, normally these create measured moves. The breakout leg into a measuring leg. Think about a breakout leg there into a measuring leg. So again, like I talked about a bit last night on the video, and tonight, of course, if I see separation, if I see the pullback right there, if I start seeing separation off that moving average overnight, we now know higher high in price, separation. I'm getting in with that strong green candle, closing above that 21 EMA, just like I teach in the free video classes, all right? So that's our most aggressive entry as we go. Now remind me again, what happens after a range breakout? Breakout pullbacks. Breakout pullbacks are one of the most consistent things I can teach you as a trader. So breakout pullbacks usually, not always, but usually breakout pullbacks are 2-legged pullbacks. So a second way in which I want to trade this stuff up top here is a 2-legged pullback. 1, 2, think about a measured move. All right, think about a measured move. My favorites, by the way, are the ones go a bit too far, right? A bit more than a measured move. Ideally now, that 2-legged pullback, which now sets up for a breakout pullback, that will start to use that high right there, that high right there. Any of these 3 highs right here are ripe now for basically a key level of support on a breakout pullback. Now, you know me by now, hopefully you know my style, right? I'm not going to use indicators down here besides the 21 EMA. I'm not going to use tape reading. That stuff works every once in a while. It works just enough using divergence, reading tape or order flow for entries. It works just enough to keep you trying. I wasted many years trying indicators, trying divergence, trying MACDs, trying order flow, all the expensive tools. And I found the easiest way to time consistent winning entries was running stops. It's always been the easiest way to make money consistently, right? Again, indicators work once in a while. So again, it's bears once, it's bears twice, because now as those bears get stopped out, they become buyers. That's why stop runs work so well, right? Because they become buyers as those bears get stopped out. Then we make that lower, again, that shallow pullback, that higher high, and we add to our winners from there. Again, think about a measured move here, right? Breakout leg, measuring leg. Think of measured moves for big targets on those runners. That is a second way in which I want to trade this breakout going higher here. Again, the most aggressive way in on the way up, and then look for, again, think about measured move going higher, 2-legged pullback, basically bear trap, add on, which is basically a classic breakout pullback. Another variation of this, and there's 2 more variations of this I want to talk about. Every once in a while, when this thing slingshots off that low, it'll pop up and really begin to grind going higher. You're not going to get any pullbacks below these prior swings. These pop and grind breakouts are very strong. And again, these types of slingshot moves, they can be very, very aggressive, right? So sometimes it'll pop up like that and you simply won't get your entry, right? It won't pull back for you. These can be a bit frustrating because that voice in your head is going to say, come on, man, get in, you're missing it. But I'll tell you, in these situations, your patience is rewarded. Find that trend line off that high, match it up with the lows up there, find that channel. And you know, guys, there's nothing guaranteed in trading, but this is about as close to a guaranteed winner as you're ever going to get. Okay, we call these grinding trends in our trade room, right? It'll rotate off that low, it'll pop up and begin to grind going higher. It'll separate off that moving average, or at least get a hold above that moving average. Remember, guys, anytime we see grinding trends like this, it's very tough to stop that momentum. I want that first test off the low of that channel. It could be a technical bear trap, like I'm showing you here. It could be a 2-try bear trap. You'll learn these techniques in that free video course. Now, what's really nice about these situations is that the pop leg, right? Kind of that pop-up leg, that's the measuring leg. Okay, it's not the whole entire leg in these situations. In a pop and grind move like this, it's always the pop leg. And you'll know it. It'll pop up and then start grinding, right? So measure the size of that pop leg. Once you know the size of that pop leg, now you know, anchor off that low right there. That's going to give you now where that target is. Remember, guys, the easiest way to make more money is not to trade more often. Just get better at holding on to your winners. Now, we all know this. We all know holding winners is important, but that's so much easier said than done once you know where the market wants to go. And again, we like to use measured moves. Anytime we see a range breakout, the breakout leg is always the measured leg. That will make it easier to let that winner run, stay patient, right, and let the final piece of that trade run to maximize your profits, right? That is another variation I'm watching for tomorrow. And what might be the easiest one to make money with is a slingshot off the low up into a trading range up here. Now, why would that be the easiest one to make money with? Well, because if you watch my videos, you know that if we slingshot now off that low, and again, we got no major news tomorrow. It's a holiday weekend coming up. Everyone's waiting on trade deal updates, tax bill updates. If we snap up and go into a trading range, what does that mean? It means that this rotation, right? Again, what I call kind of a slingshot, that rotation is very likely. And that range below us is begging for a breakout pullback. In our trade room, we call these stacked ranges. So if we pop up here and go right into a range early tomorrow morning, late overnight tonight, that range is the new magnet. That range wants to rotate, and that previous range is begging for a breakout pullback. Now, these can be a bit tricky, so watch closely here. The easy one is a breakout below it, bears once, bears twice, we trap them in, and squeeze stops back up again. That's kind of the easy one that most folks know pretty well already. The more challenging one, though, is when it goes higher first. When it goes higher first, oftentimes it will try to go higher and then kick right back down again. I'm going to warn you right now, this will feel like the end of the world. This will feel like a reversal because, as I mentioned earlier, the way that ranges rotate from one side to the next, the way that ranges rotate like this can be very aggressive. And so it will feel very, very bearish. But remember, the best entries are always uncomfortable. They're always a bit scary. So when that voice in your head says, are you sure you want to buy this? Yes, I do, because what is it? It's not a reversal. Go back and look at your hourly time frame. The hourly chart is nowhere near being a bear market right now. This is simply nothing more than a range rotation. Once you understand how range rotations work like this, everything becomes so much easier now because now you're not going to be fooled by that move going lower. All the other rookies will be though, right? All the other rookies using indicators, trying to read tape, not watching my videos, right? Trying to make things well, I shouldn't say simpler because it doesn't need to be that complicated, but I think a lot of new traders, they want a shortcut. They want some special indicator. The reality is that doesn't exist, right? So a lot of new traders, they see my stuff and they go, whoa, this is a bit too complicated. But in all reality, this is stuff that actually works. There's no silver bullet in trading. Bottom line though is all the rookies now, they're not learning this stuff right now. They will be the ones that get trapped on the wrong side of this moving average. And you'll be the one now doing the trapping, running right back up and rotating back up as we go. So watch that fake out breakout, watch that head fake off of that high, and look for that pendulum swing, that symmetry of the side there, bear trap it in. And as always, remember, I'm keeping it simple right now, late in the video right now, but as it rolls higher here, keep adding to your winner. If there's one scenario where you must add to that winner and let that trade run, it's always a range rotation. because we know exactly now where the market wants to go. It wants to rotate back to the other side of that range. It wants to complete that pendulum swing on the side of that range. Boy, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this stuff right now. So now the big question right now is, will we get that retest down there? That will be my favorite trade for tomorrow. Or as we go higher here, which one of those 3, 4 scenarios will we see going higher tomorrow? Doesn't really matter now. Now you know the game plan. Now you know what to look for, and the game plan's ready for tomorrow morning in our trade room. Now, speaking of tomorrow morning, the best place to be is trading with us at the opening bell in our daily trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to put all the links you need, guys, to learn the roadmap, time better entries, start making money all on your own, and hopefully I will see you trading with us sometime soon as a member of the morning trade room at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Guys, hope you learned a bunch this afternoon. Hope you use this knowledge to earn a bunch tomorrow morning. And as always, be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.